All right, so I'm going to try an experiment here. I don't usually actually script these things, but I wanted to tweet out a transcript to everything that I'm saying. So there's actually a link to an article on Medium. So if all of you want to continue the conversation of things that I get into here, you have a good place to do it now. So here are my goals for the next 5 minutes, and it's just 5 minutes, which is crazy. If I'm successful, everyone's going to leave the room today with a better understanding of two different things. You're going to have a broader understanding of public libraries as flexible infrastructure, and you'll be inspired by the different ways that they can be implemented in your communities. And you'll also know the story of how Chattanooga Public Library collaborated with the Office of Mayor Andy Burke and Open Chattanooga to become both the open data platform for the city and kind of the home field for civic engagement and open data and civic geeketry in general, all that good stuff. So let's get on with it. First, let's talk about libraries. I like to think of libraries as the original sharing economy. Forget Uber and Airbnb and all of that. But libraries are actually agreements that communities have made to pool resources and share access to those resources. This way, everybody doesn't have to buy their own copy of, or version of whatever the thing is. So collaborative consumption seems to be the popular label or descriptor for this kind of activity now. But collaborative consumption doesn't sufficiently describe what we're doing with libraries right now. Thanks to the internet, the whole world of media is now read and write, correct? The long chains of publication and distribution have been broken down, and now everyone is a producer and an editor. So now we're looking at libraries as centers for both individual and collaborative production as well as consumption. We offer access to a different suite of resources, tools, space, instruments, all of the things you see here. So before I bridge to talking specifically about locally generated data as a library collection, I encourage anyone and everyone here to think differently about their library and its role in the community. We do a real disservice when we take a literal and exclusively bookish approach to library service design for our communities. There's just so many more possibilities. So library collections. This is Chattanooga. Take a look at these. You know, this is pretty typical. This is not unique to where we're at. I moved to Chattanooga a couple of years ago because I was presented with an unusually great opportunity to rethink the public library in a big way. The library in Chattanooga certainly needed a lot of love. The political climate was supportive and ripe for change, and as you've likely heard, our city has this massive, passive fiber optical network that gives folks access to gigabit per second internet speeds at extremely low costs. These things all intersected to make a perfect storm for innovation, and so for me it was a no-brainer to move to this southern city. And so what you're looking at here are pictures of the Chattanooga Public Library's 4th floor. It's an attic space that was formerly filled floor to ceiling just with junk for a good solid 30 years. But now it's become sort of the hub for civic innovation. It's a public maker space. It's a gigabit laboratory. And probably most importantly, a flexible beta space just for trying new ideas in public. So our library is this open community platform for people to come and plug into. Most importantly, for the sake of this presentation, where it's actually the center for open data. So the Chattanooga Public Library, Open Chattanooga, and the Benwood Foundation all came together to apply to the Knight Foundation for a community information grant a little more than a year ago now. And while the library was beginning to explore what digital collections and services beyond kind of ebooks and streaming media and stuff might be, the Open Chattanooga movement was also gaining new membership and attention thanks to the election of Mayor Burke. So the proposal that we all put together, and I'm about to hit you with like the textiest slide that you've ever seen, and I apologize for doing that, but I'm also really kind of proud of this because I think it's a really nice way of thinking of things. With the city working on data reform, the library working on the access layer to all of that, and the Citizens Brigade being the engagement piece. So why the public library? This is like, if you take nothing else from this, I think this is the most important bit. Public libraries have hosted municipal collections on their shelves for years, and when you look beyond all those fascinating volumes of government-generated data, you'll find that public libraries all adhere to collection development policies. These policies assure that library collections will be an accurate reflection of diverse community needs. We don't buy books that just offer one perspective on a topic. We buy books that offer a variety of different perspectives so citizens can make their own informed decisions. This means that a data portal that is actually living at like data.yourlibrary.gov is maintained and curated by a crew of people who are invested in collecting all different kinds of stuff. The library can grab relevant sets of data from local nonprofits, from other government entities, from citizen science projects. It really sort of widens the scope of what it is that we're talking about here. And so this is what it looks like up on the 4th floor. You've got a couple of really important people hanging out in the back there. That's Sean Brewer, who is actually our open data specialist in the light blue shirt there. And what's key about that is my man Sean, he wakes up every day, and it is his job to think about open data and about how to make this stuff more accessible to the community. So, so as I sort of expected, I ran out of time, and I have a whole lot more that I could say to you guys. But the good news is that I tweeted out the transcript. So hopefully you can all engage with that, and we can all talk a little bit more. Thank you so much.